Hello. So we have a very important topic about who we are in the world, what really are the roots and the true about the Jesus and who was the Jesus. So we have a very crucial stuff to present. After the Polish edition, I decided to propagate it to other let's say countries globally. One background, because the stories about Jesus, we want to understand what happened in the most important moment of Jesus' life. I think the whole affair with the entry to Jerusalem on the donkey, and then this warm welcome as a king, as Messiah, and then the crucifixion, apparently caused by Jews. There is a lot of things which are very suspicious and improbable. For example, for instance, one thing is very illogical, and Jew Pharisees were very logical. One thing is very illogical. It is a whole affair, what happened and what is described in Gospels about the mountain of Olives. What happened there? So it is not unbelievable and very improbable. It couldn't happen such like this, that the guy comes with the colleagues on the Olive Mountains, and then he tells, okay, get the Romans to kill me without fight, without anything. I will go there and they will crucify me because I want to do sacrifice. It is totally crazy. It's illogical. No from Jews would do this time like this. And one huge remark: I'm here basing on the scientific knowledge and analysis of ancient Judaism and ancient history, classical history, and especially in Jerusalem, Rome, etc. Basing on some professors' scientific research. I am not giving the names because it doesn't make sense, because I will not make easy the Vatican gang to attack because they don't give any good source for the knowledge, except Gospels which is no knowledge. These are simply lullabies and myths, very chaotic things which couldn't happen. And okay, let's continue. So, describe in Gospels the occurrences, what happened in Mountain of Olives in Jerusalem. It's simply irrational, and it couldn't be so. But let's start with the one thing: this entry to Jerusalem on the donkey. So, okay, go back one step earlier. There was such episode in described in Evangelia, in Gospel, that Jesus on mountain of Hermon in a Golan Heights, which are occupied by Israel now. You can visit there, and they are occupied, I think, in the right cause, it is justified, because the Israel was attacked from there by Syria, and I think the same should do Ukraine to Russia, to go to the Kursk and take and occupy a huge land of Russia, because this is Ukraine was attacked by the bandits, criminal, fascist Russian regime, and the same was with Israel. They were attacked by the bandits, countries like Syria, but by a lot of countries, because Egypt, etc., Jordan. We don't go into details. It's another story. And on this mountain of Hermon, he proclaimed, he addressed, or published, that he is the king, Messiah, but on the earth, no God. Judaism is very rational, so they don't believe in gods except one God, Yahweh. And Messiah is a normal man, quasi-normal, who is doing the job on the earth, and is no God, no way. So let's continue. On the mountain of Hermon, he proclaimed this as according to the properties, because they did everything by properties from the old Bible. So they had a scenario and they acted like this. So it's very simple. Everything in the Evangelia is according to the scenario from Bible. So nothing is wonder. So they did like this, and then he went to Jerusalem and entered Jerusalem on the donkey as a king, as a Messiah, which was a kind of rebel, and with the palms. One thing, the palms are not on Pascha feast, yes, this holiday, but on the Kuchki, something like this. It's in the autumn. So Jesus entered Jerusalem in the autumn, but Pascha holiday is in the spring. So half year later, he was crucified. So it's totally misunderstood, because on this holiday of Kuchki they have the Jews, Israelis have palms. So Pascha is another story, and so this is detail which is showing how they lie in the Bible, in the Gospels, and they squeezed half of the year in 7 days, and then go to the merit. What happened on the Mountain of Olives? It is close to Old City, to Antonia Castle and the center of Jerusalem. And according to properties, every Messiah should be there. How to say? Ritually namaszczony, Christized as a Messiah. One thing, and he could go there like this. It's no problem. Only with to buy the olive oil and then put this on the head, and okay, done. I am the king, and he's continuing. But it was something illogical, because on those times it couldn't be only this. He had to do something more, and it is miswritten, light changed, manipulated by the Lucas, Matthew, Mark. I don't know which, but I think Lucas was the more most intelligent guy from this four, and the thing is following that he should do something more, but Paul changed it everything, that he wanted to make a sacrifice from himself according to the Hellenic myths, and this is pure Hellenic story, that somebody is giving a sacrifice for the world. It was a Prometheus like this. It was simply this myth, but it is totally opposite to the Jews, to the Pharisees. It was simply total wrong. Heresy, and for Jews. So the problem was that Jesus couldn't do like this because he was a Pharisee. Look at the previous, unfortunately in Polish parts. He was a Pharisee, a very logical thinking guy. He was a twisted guy, of course unstable, but he wasn't a crazy Jesus. Jesus was not crazy. It was a very intelligent man if he existed, but was twisted, was unstable, was a bit eccentric. To think that I am king, one should be a bit eccentric, okay? And what was the real second part of story on the Olive Mountain? For sure, not this that I am coming and call the Romans to kill me. 12 people are calling one cohort, which is 600 men of Roman soldiers, fully equipped, for 12 guys. Hello, it's something illogical. That simply to catch the guy, it would be enough, I think, 20 to have a double, outnumbered double, yes, or 3, yes. There was another cause. According to some other era codex, the thing with the Judas, it was also a crazy to send the guy and please call them to kill me. His friend. It's also improbable. There was not such a thing about the Judas Iscariot, which was the killer with knives, Sicarius. Like according to Christians, he's killing with knives people. And the point was that according to the old prophecy, in the Olive Mountains area, there was a battle in the Bible described that the God sent the army of angels, something like this, yes, of course, and they were fighting they fought with some enemies like Philistines, I don't know, somebody against Israel, and this army won. And Jesus had also similar approach. He wanted simply to call the God to send him in one division of angels fully equipped, and they will fight with Romans. Yes, good idea. Yes, realistic. But he was a twisted guy, eccentric, but not crazy. He wasn't the suicider. Yes, he didn't want to commit the suicide. His duty was to fight about the freedom of the Israel against the barbaric fascist SS Romans, which were very brutal. Like I would only compare them to Nazis, and those times, especially in Jerusalem, in Israel, Judea, and was like this. He simply came with 12 guys, wanted to call God after this ritual with the olive. The God will send him one division Okay, one brigade is enough of angels, would be enough for one cohort, but remember, in Antonia Castle, they were stationing, according to Flavius, one legion, so 2,000. So I think he should send maybe one brigade angels, but good guys, like I would say, a kind of seals. But okay, good. And with the heavy weapon, artillery, and yes, they fought like this, because this is described also in Flavius, that there was such a guy, Taudicus. It is centrally described that he did similar case, but the Rome, he called the people that they will gather on the desert, and then the God will come, and they also wanted something to do with Romans, but then one of this procurator of Judea sent the soldiers there, and they did order and catched him and killed them. Yes, but so he wanted simply to get support from the God's infantry, I would say, and artillery. It's very logical, yes, for them in those times. Yes, remember, in those times there was more gods on the streets than the people, than the normal people. They are describing the historians, yes. And okay, good. Let's continue. And what happened? He did this ritual. You can imagine, but let's conclude it with some very interesting points. Then he sent a guy to call the Romans to take the battle, centrally battle with the angels, and then 12 guys with 2 swords, and or more, we don't know, or maybe there were more there, but they wanted to have a support from the heaven. But then the Romans sent the cohort 600 people, and simply saw the guy. Oh, this is this guy who entered the Jerusalem on donkey, and he's telling that he is a king of Judea, so he is against the Caesar. So let's catch him, and the thing is simple. He will be crucified, because for such a guys there was a crucifixion, let's say, proscribed. Yes, no. Then they simply catch him, because they didn't have enough power to fight with Romans, and the story ends from the military point of view. Of course, there was no such a things like crucifixion road, etc., etc. This all the theater described, because it would be suicide for the Romans. And Pilatus didn't discuss with anybody, with Jews. He was a very brutal guy. And the point is following, that the watch out for the finish, because it is a very also confirming this theory, because Jesus was crucified a half year later or more, we don't know. It's only hypothesis. Some guys think that even longer, and he ruled really in Jerusalem. And when he was crucified, then he shouted. The first thing he was described as for his crime, Jesus. Sorry, E. It's I. It's not J. So let's go back to our previous podcast. What really meant I would know this guy now, because it was not Jesus. Another name was there. Nazireus, not Nazareus. Nazireus Rex Judeorum. and he was crucified. And the last moments, apparently, in his life, he was shouting, Elo, Elo, ala sabachthani, and 2 points. It was not in Aramaic and or Hebrew. Nobody understood it, what it was. But the people thought that he is calling Eliash a prophet. But the evangelist translated this as God, why did you miss me? Something like this, yes. Why did you leave me? Yes. And it is very logical that he is complaining to God about the God that he didn't send his army to the air. So he was a bit unrealistic, because he, in our channel we know that a man is an animal, and we are coming from bacteria. We have the same RNA and DNA like other fauna on the earth. Is similar on the same principle. There was a big bang. There was no creation of the universe by anybody. There is no God, etc. So he didn't knew this, that he will not send because he is not existing. Yes. So it is very simply. And he was calling to him that why didn't you send to me a division of the angels? Yes. Yes, but I think he was not crazy. He was simple living in the midst. Yes, living in the midst. A lot of people are living in the midst. The great leaders, good and bad leaders on the earth. They did some of them did a lot of bad things, but they were not sick. Yes, in this sense, they were simple eccentrics. Yes. So, but they were normal. How to say? Health. Well, they were well in a sense of healthness. Yes. So that's the story. That's the real story, and it is good to know because it makes sense really. The first time for me, for example, it makes sense, but it needed a huge investigation of a specialists from Judaism, Jews knowing the culture, a lot of analyzing the Evangelia, a lot of versions, the Bibles, and etc. Here is the knowledge. So we must know and not believe, because belief, it's very little probability to have a true in this belief. But when I know, then I am certain of, or almost certain. Certainty for me, 99% is like 100%. So of course we have theories, physical theories, etc., that they are describing the things. And somebody is saying, okay, it's theory, yes, but it is working, yes. When something is working, it is close to true. But here we have a really myth in Bible, in Gospels, and every edition of Gospel is changed and manipulated. It's going from the origin. You can check even with Sinai Codex, which is in the internet, from the 4th century after Jesus. Watch out, 4th century, not 1st, 2nd. There was nothing, so they have 300 years to confabulate, to prepare the story, the myths. So I think it was good for the people which want to know the truth about our existence, what the Bergoglio organization, catching power and money, is chasing, is doing, is what foundation they have. Yes. So this is they have no foundation. Yes, as you see. General philosophy, but it is the ethics, and ethics, I would say, better are the human rights. than the Evangelia, because Evangelia is very cruel and brutal, and the Holy Bible whole. Okay, so thank you. I think you were satisfied. It is insight, such an insight. You can do the deep dive, find the source, find the sources. There is plenty of them. About this, about the complementary view, how the world is built, etc., etc. It's every side, every, let's say, aspect, view from every side is coming to the same. That it is. These are myths. So bye bye. Have a nice Easter.